We're all christened. All right. We got Patent Pending, episode 8, a podcast for creatives.
By creatives. And today we got Yev.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here, man.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us, where'd you grow up?
Very good question. I got two places where I grew up. I was born outside of Moscow.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It's a small town called Konakova. It's about 2 hours away. And then when I turned 15, we moved to United States. And my second part of teenage years and 20s, I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, okay.
And then in 2005, we moved to Vegas.
What did you guys come to Vegas for? Parents
Well, my parents, because here in America, we only have like my parents and I am the only child. Mm-hmm. And at that time when my parents like, well, we're going to move to Vegas, I was like, well, I have literally nothing holding me back. Like I had no wife, no kids, just, job, whatever, girlfriend, mm-hmm. Easy peasy. Like, I'm like, let's go. I'll go with you guys. I've never been to Vegas. They've been to Vegas multiple times and they enjoyed it live here. So I was like, whatever, let's go.
That's awesome. I was going to say, I do hear on the back end of your voice a little East Coast. I was going to say New York, but I can definitely hear it. So that's why I was curious where your second home was.
Yeah, a lot of people say we hear a little accent.
Yeah, it almost sounds like New York. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's like fresh.
Bit.
It's tight.
Hey, how you doing?
You can just turn it on and off.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We also you guys have any fun stuff we've been working on? Any recent projects? How was your guys' work week?
You want to kick it off?
Statistically, June is very slow for me.
Oh, really?
Okay.
But it's not a bad thing because June is my birthday month.
Oh.
Okay.
And it was a little slow, but I had here and there projects. So I have clients that I work on monthly basis. They kept me busy. But the biggest, or I guess the fun project that I'm working on right now is this company that I worked with many times. They're trying to book me as a producer to produce the event. Mm-hmm. It's a photography event, so I'm kind of trying to negotiate with them because they know me as a photographer for them because we usually do 2-3 stations. So we have 2-3 photographers, 3 digitechs, and 2 people on the front end kind of moving people the line.
Yeah.
And they want me to set everything up in Virginia Tech and Lincoln, Nebraska. So I'm kind of working on that. So that's kind of exciting to be on opposite end versus photographer.
What type of event is it?
So the company called Dear World. So what they do is, so backstory on him, his name is Robert. He's gonna like that I'm talking about him if he hears it.
Yeah, shouts out Robert.
Robert, yeah, and he's a great guy, great vision, very driven. So he started back in the day in New Orleans. Go to bars, write inspirational something on your body, whatever, professionally or, where it's allowed to write. Mm-hmm. And then he takes a picture and then kind of shows it to the world. And he took to the next level now to where he sets up events for corporative events. I mean, you name it. And then he walks you through the story, how he started, what to write, and he takes people on a journey. So by the time when it's time to write something on the body, you're like, oh, I know exactly what I want to put it.
Right.
And so that's the events we're going to set up. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's inspiring, man, when you hear the people's stories and the messages.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Go
Sorry. I was going to say, when are you guys supposed to actually do that?
So one event is August 21st and a second event September 19th.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
And how long is the event? Just one day?
Usually it's about 3-day event because, well, for me, it will be about 4 or 5 because setup.
Right.
Setup test, obviously, because we need to make sure that we're firing as soon as the doors are open. And then the first day, usually he walks you through the journey, how and what to write. The next day, we usually shoot. And the closing day, he presents all of the images from the day before.
Right.
And then he also asks maybe, 2-3 people to come on a stage from the session, kind of hey, tell us your story and why you wrote what you wrote.
Yeah, your experience.
Yeah.
So it's like a keynote. They come and he speaks, and then you do this whole thing.
Yeah,
awesome.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's cool.
Right on. Have you always been a photographer?
No, that's a very good question, man. Funny story about how I started photography is I was actually going to school for IT and project management. And during that time, I kind of just started snapping photos. I was on the Facebook, but I didn't know nothing about Instagram. And then one of my friends in DC, he's like, hey, there's the Instagram. I'm like, what is that? Mm-hmm. It's an app, whatever. And then just start posting pictures there. And then from there, I kind of like, let me get a camera.
Right.
Yeah.
And then my first camera was Nikon. And then I started kind of like messing with it. I didn't like it. And then I was like, let's go back to Best Buy, got a Canon and just start kind of like firing away, man.
Because you started in 2012, right?
I started, 2012 is about the time when I like started shooting just random things.
Okay. Yeah, because I was looking at your website and for only like 10-ish years, dude, you have such a defined style.
Thank you.
Your studio style is so sick.
It's very polished.
It's so refined and like editorial and high end.
Thank you.
Your website as well, it's so clean and just like straightforward. I really love it.
Thank you so much.
So speaking of, what kind of photography do you do?
Man, I mean, I love the editorial, like portrait style photography. That's like really kind of like what I'm drawn to and really, really love doing, because you can connect with the people and you can just create so much in that industry. But lately, trying to kind of like change 180 in what I'm doing.
Oh.
Just created a new company, launched it, kind of like building off of that. And I'm trying to do more of a branding product, but still commercial twist to that, to everything that I'm doing. So I completely rebranded a new company, new name and everything. And, but portraits are never going to go away. Like if I were to retire right now from photography, I would still do portraits, like editorial thing. Like I would always wanted to shoot that, whether it's friends, family, like whatever, always want to shoot that because it's just some magical happens during that time.
Yeah. And I could tell, honestly, like it's so good. You, and then like you have like that little crew of guys you hang out with, you, Enrique,
Miguel.
And Miguel.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are all super sick.
That's my amigos.
Yeah. Yeah. No, because I took a college class with Enrique. So
yeah. That's how
I've known him for a while.
He knows you. Yeah. That we go by 2AR.
So you guys' initials?
We started with 3AR. Yeah. Like 3 Mexicans and Russian.
Oh, okay.
And now it's 2 Mexicans and Russian.
Yeah. So those other companies, is it still photography? Is it outside of photography?
It is photography. Okay. Shout out to the new company, keystyle.media.
Okay.
Website is launched.
Yeah, we'll link everything in the description.
Instagram is launched, and I have a guy. He's anonymous. I'm not going to give him a shout out. He's a secret weapon who's helping me with ads. Ads, mainly Google ads and Instagram ads that we're preparing to run really, really deep to attract the new people that needs to see what I'm doing with that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I know you mentioned it's 180 from the editorial stuff. So
yeah. Well,
what type of photography is it?
So there's going to be mainly branding for like, coaches.
Oh, okay.
They all need content all the time. The second portion is the product photography. It's completely, totally something brand new to me. But I'm trying to put like my editorial portrait twist on the photography for the product photography, and hopefully it will separate me from some other people.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Add a little extra tool in the bag.
Yeah, and will hopefully give me a little bit more of an edge, because I'm trying to light things how it's supposed to be light, but I'm trying to add like different twist to it. So I don't know. We'll see.
Did you have any formal education in photography? Like, or are you just like figuring out lighting as you go, and then?
I've taken couple, what are they called? Workshops.
Right.
But mainly it's just trial and error, kind of like just shoot it. I've purchased couple of classes for couple people that like I admire and wanted to see how they do it. Back in the day, I was watching this thing called the Creative Live, when they were like broadcast live stuff. That was kind of like actually very powerful, because you can see it as they shoot instead, and you can ask the questions as they shoot to where like, you get
real time
instant feedback. Yeah, you can purchase the class later, but it was literally free to watch it. And it was, that's kind of like my education comes from. And mainly it's just literally taking picture of every single thing that you see and then start editing the flashes and experimenting.
Yeah.
Have you done a workshop yourself, like teaching?
I've done one. It wasn't super successful. I mean, I'm busting my own balls here. I didn't plan properly. Okay. Didn't advertise properly. I do have actually space now, and I am working on making a presentation and kind of better plan for the workshop. So hopefully in the next maybe 6 months or so, we can kind of like do the ads for that as well and let it go. Because I have a space where I can bring about safely, properly to where everybody can get what they need out of it, about 20, 25 people.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
That's a good amount of space for 20 people to have their own little area to shoot. And then,
yeah,
I think that's
because we
plenty.
can, the place that I have, we can split 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 or 5 spots. So you can do groups of 4 or 5.
Yeah. In each spot.
Yeah, and everybody's like, okay, rotate.
That's awesome, man. I would be super interested to check that out.
That's why I asked. I was like, wait a minute, workshop.
Yeah. I'm working on it. It's in the progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be super good to check out, actually.
Is there any other facets in photography that you're interested in outside of product and editorial portraiture?
Yes. I like this guy. His name is Tim Tater, I believe is his name.
Okay.
He's also from Baltimore. He does live in LA now, but the things that he does is a sport photographer, and then the things he does, conceptual things that he started doing with the NFTs or whatever. Man, he's been doing some crazy stuff, and like I love the way his creative mind works. Like really cool, man. Like he's kind of like my lately inspiration. Like I don't want to be like him, but like I'm looking at his stuff.
You're drawing inspiration.
Like, there's definitely those. Yeah, you don't want to be like somebody, but you definitely pull inspiration from that.
Yeah,
is that what you just said? Probably.
No, you got it right. You got it right.
Little brain fart there. Well, yeah, Mike just said the same thing.
It's all good. So you want to create like NFTs or?
No, just want to like maybe experiment a little bit more with like conceptual art, conceptual photography, kind of like to where, whatever comes out without where there is no like standards or not even standards like rules or whatever, to where you just like create whatever comes out. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, hopefully it's dope shit.
I mean, I think you can create some dope shit.
I hope so.
I mean, it could be subjective too, right? I mean, I think everything is subjective in that sense.
Everything, like even the awards. Like, a lot of people like, oh, I'm award-winning photographer. Well, it's all subjective too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it depends who's on the panel. Do you know somebody on the panel who give you a little bit more pull, or like it's so subjective, man?
And then it's like subjective to the person that if you have an award, does that even matter to them? It's like,
exactly. You can have an award, go, okay, but I still think that photo sucks. Yeah. But I have an award. Okay.
Right.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, but do you use Lightroom or Capture One?
It's like, do you use Mac or PC?
That's another great question.
Do you have a Samsung or do you have a...
All right, let's go down the list.
I know you guys got iPhones because you guys came in as blue.
What about you? Oh, yeah, so you have iPhone as well?
Yeah, we're dead giveaway.
Are you Mac or PC?
Mac.
Okay, and then you Capture One or Lightroom?
When I started photography, I was like, man, Lightroom is magical. And then Capture One showed up.
Oh, shit.
And I said...
Lightroom's a piece of shit.
Lightroom sucks. But Adobe still gets my money because I need the Adobe suite.
Likewise.
Photoshop, Premiere. Yeah, I mean, yes, I can use other stuff, but it's because I'm so used to using this in the learning curve to learn something else. It's like I don't even want to spend time.
I just made the switch.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to ask.
Capture One?
Yeah.
Yeah, Capture One is magical, man. Especially the new one just came out. The new update, because one thing was drawn away from, not even drawn, but it was a little bit harder. Like if you shoot some event stuff where you need a quick alignment on on the horizontals. Capture One now has just auto.
Oh, really?
You just go
Okay.
auto and it's freaking so quick. I mean, you can do the keystone or whatever the line's called, but it takes more time. But when auto, it pretty much gets it where it needs to go.
Nice.
Dang.
But in terms of a color space, in terms of like tethering and so like in the especially color, man, the color science there, for whatever reason, the images come out so much better. I'm not a technical guy, like, you know, I have an IT degree, but never used it. So
Well, it's funny because I would think that you are a very technical guy,
Yeah.
especially with studio editorial.
That's my
work.
first. I was like, I would consider you very technical.
Yeah.
well, my work may look technical,
Okay.
Gotcha.
but I'll show you some stuff that you think like, holy crap, how
Yeah.
was it lit? And then you see how I lit it, you're like, get the fuck out of here.
It's awesome.
Most
Some
of the
old
stuff is
closet
like
lamps.
one. Well, no, not the closet lamps, but like it's usually just one or two lights the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
So I want to ask both of you, since you guys both are Capture One, has Capture One been around and it's just now like catching on, or is it like a new?
It's been around.
Yeah.
It's been around?
I think it's been
It's been
around
around for a
as
while.
long as Lightroom.
Why is
Yeah.
it just now? Because
Yeah.
I noticed that, there's like 5 people that have switched.
Well, I think it's because it's been more in the like editorial, because it's so much better at tethering than Lightroom. So any type of studio stuff, if you use
Oh.
studio, if you shooting in a studio, 9 out of 10 times people are using Capture One. And I think now it's catching on more for everybody else outside of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how I got caught up on the Capture One, is because I was always using Lightroom. Everything was good. Like first of all, like before seeing somebody tethering, I didn't even fucking know you could do that.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this? You can shoot into the computer, right?
Yeah.
And then I started using Lightroom for it, and the Lightroom would crash. It would slow down. There was just like, there were glitches.
Yeah.
And then I was watching this photographer, and she was tethering, and she was using Capture One, but it was like Capture One 9 or whatever. It's crazy. They jumped from like 11 to 20, whatever the numbers. I don't know why. They skipped the whole generation.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, wow, she's shooting. She has not stopped the computer once. She has not unplugged that stuff. Oh, it wasn't even her. It was one of my favorite photographers, Joey L. And I saw
Oh,
him.
yeah. He's so good as well.
Amazing. And then I saw him tethering, and I was like, whoa, get out of here. And then I saw this other girl, fuck, I keep forgetting her name. And then I was like, no, I need to get it. And I got it. And then I started tethering, started using more Capture One. And I'm like, dude, I've been missing out.
Dang.
It's so good. And then the cataloging system is, I think, even more simplified than Lightroom.
Absolutely.
Because that's how I don't know how you guys organize your stuff, but I keep everything. Like I used to keep the originals and then also have the Lightroom catalogs, and then I'd relink if I needed to go back to an old stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's even more simple on Capture One. And then when you export, it's all in the same area, and then it's all the same project folder.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like you'll have your catalog, and then you'll have like if you're shooting tethered, you have a capture folder, and then you have a select folder.
And trash folder and so on. But the only trick I'm going to give you a little nugget, don't use catalogs, use sessions.
I use sessions, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just calling it catalogs.
Yeah, sessions is the better. And the other trick that I have, I've just recently learned a couple things with the Capture One. You can literally on a screen, like if you do event or something that's, you want to make sure the exposure right and the white balance as close as possible. You can literally go through 6 images and flick through 6 images at the same time.
Okay.
And you can set it up to where you can adjust exposure with up and down. Dude, I just found this workflow that it's any event you shoot or anything that's multiple thousands of images, you can go through like quick.
Dang.
I'll teach you guys for $9.99.
Yeah, I got you.
For a small fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely got you. Are you convinced yet, Sean, to switch over?
Well, I'm still learning the Canon system, so now I'm like, do I want to double down and now learn a whole new?
Triple down, yeah.
Triple
Because you just
down.
got a new laptop. You'll do Capture One. Now you got a new Canon system.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the I mean,
Did you get M1?
no.
Yeah, he did.
Is it M1? Oh,
He doesn't even know what he got.
He doesn't even know
I've
what
used
he
it
got.
twice.
We both have the 13-inch M1, the smaller one,
Nice.
because it's pretty cheap. And
Yeah.
then for photoing, it's the most bang for your buck, I feel like. And then I'm telling him because he's still with the iMac. I was like, dude, just get rid of the iMac.
Well,
The
that's
M1's
what I
faster.
had.
Me too.
iMac, and honestly, I maxed out like a few years back, and it's still good. But now that I started doing a little bit more video and rendering,
Yeah.
dude, it was like I still kept it because it's still a good machine. Just like when I move into the studio, I'll have like a tethering machine.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Capture One, bro.
Check it out.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Is it cheap like Lightroom, like $10 a month?
No, you can just buy it outright.
You buy it outright for
Well,
like $230, I think, and then it's
Yeah.
$170 once a year. But if you buy it for that once a year, then you get all the updates.
Yeah.
as well.
I mean, either way, it's not bad. We're using it multiple times a day. It helps our work. So,
Dude, with it's the tethering is what.
Yeah, you're gonna love it, man.
And then the color is sick. I'm still, I think for like low light photography, I'm still getting used to it a little bit. But overall, I love it. And the export and import times.
Yeah,
and the
that's
rendering is so much faster.
So much faster.
insane. That's the one thing that's why I think everyone's been switching, and I've been seeing that everyone's like exported 400 files in 2 minutes, and I'm like, fuck. Yeah,
That's about right, because I just exported. I did I don't do it usually, but it was just a small wedding reception. It's like 450 images. It was like under 5 minutes. Just boom, boom.
Damn. Yep. Time to switch.
How much work do you do in Photoshop with your editorial images?
It's a very good question. When I'm not lazy, I edit myself. But when I'm lazy and super busy, I would send out someone.
Okay.
Usually about an hour and a half. It depends how much I want to keep going.
Oh, that's not bad at all, actually.
Yeah, because you can go deep,
You can
or
go
you
deep.
can just
So
light.
I set kind of like a limit to myself. Like if I editing more than an hour and a half an image, I'm definitely overdoing it. Like I found a workflow to where I'm doing dodge and burn on multiple levels or whatever, but to the point to where like, okay, it needs to just look good. Doesn't need to be perfect, because at this point, if you look at any high-end editorial shoots or anything, there is nothing perfect.
Yeah.
It's like people way on a different level now than like 2000s, where everything is like has to be perfect. Now it's like the less perfect the better. So
It's almost, I mean, I'm sure Sean can attest to it. I feel like things are like moving backwards a little bit, because I mean, Sean gets paid to shoot some weddings on film only, which is so sick.
That's amazing.
So I feel like maybe it's like it went super perfect, and now it's kind of moving back. It's like a little more like
That's why I like shooting the Lomans, because it's not. I'm not a perfect. Doesn't fit within me. So I think couples
perfect.
are like the same. I like that it doesn't have to be perfect too.
for sure.
Yeah,
It's just not me.
I like that. Like the beauty photography, sometimes I haven't done it in a while, but anything like with beauty, I always send out. I just don't have patience.
Right.
For the beauty photography, like to retouch, when this one girl I work with, makeup artist, I'm like, I'll shoot it, but I'm not retouching it. There's no way. No, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that type of like high end, retouching too is like, it's difficult. And you gotta like practice a lot, and you gotta really get.
You gotta know. Yeah.
Yeah, like retouching skin and making it look perfect, but not like losing the texture and making it look realistic.
And
That's
the
the
color.
key.
Yeah.
And the people that do that stuff, they're really good at painting too. And I can't fucking paint.
No, I could barely write my name some days.
Right.
Yeah. Barely got this whole handwriting.
Yeah.
thing
Yeah,
down.
yeah. I just got rid of the shakes.
Yeah,
So.
X marks the spot right there.
So where do you get your work out? Is it word of mouth? Like, because you're not just shooting portraits of everyday people, right? Like you're actually on commercial shoots. You have clients. So how are you getting your work out there?
That's a very good question. And like, I know a lot of people always struggling with it. I still struggle with that too, because networking and word of mouth can get you only so far. But the best way to do it is just keep knocking on the doors, like emails or calls. And that's with the new company that I'm trying to reestablish, it has to be something different. I still need to knock on the door, still got to go to an event, and still got to be like, hey, no, this is what I'm doing, and so on. But like most of the work that comes, even commercial work, it's word of mouth. And it comes from how I treat someone previously,
Yeah.
and they like passing it on.
So you're still cold calling in a sense? You'll still reach out to a certain
I
project?
still do reach out to certain people. Like when COVID happened, right? And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, or everything shut down, it's fine. But then when everything started reopening again, I'm like, well, I need to get back to it.
Right.
And I just start email every single person that I ever worked with, or if there is a phone number that I had stored from previous jobs, literally start just messaging everyone, yo, I'm still open for business. You got a job. Let's go.
So you're
I'm
reaching out to
ready.
previous clients.
Absolutely, all the time
cool.
too.
And then are you reaching out to people you haven't worked with yet as well?
I do as well. It's very hard, very difficult. Well, even to previous clients, it's very hard to reach out to anyone.
Yeah.
Right.
But I feel like the previous clients, there's like ice has been already broken.
For
where
sure.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit easier. They're like, well, we worked with you before. We liked your work. You know,
Yeah.
if we have something. But the new people, very hard to get through, man, because they get bombarded with fucking emails, DMs so much.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get through them.
Break through and get that point of contact.
Well, not even the point of contact, the decision-making contact, because
Right.
now these days also most of the companies, bigger companies that I would like to work with, whoever, when you DMing them, you're not even talking to decision maker.
yeah.
You know, it's somebody from college,
social media
intern,
manager.
social media
Yeah.
manager, and it's very hard to get through them.
Yeah, they're working, on like $20 an hour, $15 an hour. Fucking.
You gotta go to the events, man.
Yeah, or not even getting paid, like an intern or something, and just
Yeah.
like. So you got to go to the events and like
gotta
meet them
go
in
to-
person.
You gotta go to any kind of branding, whatever events. You gotta go and talk to people.
Okay.
I feel like it's more effective today versus email. Well, obviously you're not gonna fly to New York to talk to someone in New York.
Right.
But
Yeah.
like, if you want to network in town, the best way to do it is in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
It reminds me of that one when you were talking about before reaching out to new clients, and you had asked me, because I used to do that a lot. I used to DM somebody or try to find from the DM, get somebody's email, try to email. I used to do that a lot, and I just got burnt out on just, you know what I mean? Like
Does not
go.
work.
So the hunger part of it is there, like the building blocks are there, but
Yeah.
Mike was talking about reaching out to new clients, and yeah, it's tough. You're going to get denied 50 times.
well, that's
no.
what I've been doing with the Key Style Media. I've created the script, everything to where it does not look like it's a rap, know, whatever, automatic or whatever. I mean, I've gotten out of 100 people, maybe 5 replied, we're not looking for right now. Oh, great to connect you. We'll keep you in mind. But
Okay.
out of 5, it has to be more than 100 because I've been like
Just hammering it.
hammering down
Yeah.
and it's going back. People don't even see this message because they sometimes getting flagged as spam and they go where people don't even see it.
Yeah, that's something that I've been trying to like figure out. Fortunately, I've been busy enough just from word of mouth and just like doing good with other clients. They'll shout me out to like people who need it, and then just recurring clients have been keeping me busy as well. But obviously, I get in the back of my head, I'm always like, oh, dude, this is gonna run out. Like something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right. Be proactive, not reactive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to do as well. I'm trying to build up the pipeline to where, I'd rather keep working and then set my own time. Like, for example, you taking 3 weeks off of not work. I want to get to the point where like, okay, December, I don't want to work. Not because there is no work. No, it's just don't fucking call me.
Yeah.
December, I'm going to Disney World.
Yeah, you want to chill
3
your
times
kid. Yeah.
every other week with my kid. I just no work.
Yeah.
And also like June, it's my birthday month. I don't want to fucking work. Don't call me.
I'm celebrating for 30 days.
Yeah, that's right.
30 days, 31 days.
31 days.
31
When is
days?
your birthday? When is your birthday?
Oh man, June 25th.
June 25th. So 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Well, happy belated,
Well,
my
happy,
friend.
Thank you.
happy birthday.
Don't ask me how old I am. I'm old.
Oh yeah, I wasn't going to.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I just
I was
don't-
going to say 28, but
I just turned 40.
oh, congratulations! That's awesome.
Crazy. 40 years
40
old.
years
Wow.
old. 40 years young.
Still dumb sometimes.
Oh, same. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be.
Yeah.
You can't always be smart. You got to turn your brain off sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that though. I like the taking the time off for yourself, for your
You have
family.
to.
Yeah,
You have to, because like right now I was trying to create something, just personal work with this one guy that I like to shoot with, and then I was gonna shoot this week, And as I'm like trying to look for inspiration, I'm like, dude, I'm so burned out. Like I can't even come up with the concept. So I'm just literally on the way here, message him. I was like, dude, I'm actually taking a week off right now. Let me brainstorm and we're going to create something dope. And it's like the time off of camera, of the computer. Like I'm not even going to look into social media for a week. I'm just going to take completely
an actual break.
Out. Yeah, the actual break.
Is this a model you're talking about? A model you shoot with?
Yeah, this guy, he's my male muse.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I'm glad that you can kind of see that and pump the brakes and go, hey, I'm just not in the mood today or this week. Like, if it's not there, I'm not going to waste both of our time and energy and try to force something.
Yeah, you have to do that.
So then that leads me to my next question. Can you force creativity?
You know, it also a really good question. Unfortunately, you have... I can't speak for anybody else. I have to. I have a project on a burner right now, standing right there. And yesterday, I'm like, well, because the client needs shit no matter what. Whether you want to create, whether you want to take one photo or whatever, like they need shit, right? So yesterday, that's exactly what I was spending like 5 hours forcing the creativity.
Okay.
Forcing it in the sense like he needs, so I need 6 images with this 3 CBD products, right? And I'm forcing it because nothing comes to my mind. And I'm like shooting. I don't like it, but I've shot it. I don't like it. I'm also like questioning it. Are they going to like it?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm going to shoot this 6 images. I'm going to send it over. If they don't like it, well, I guess I'm going to have to reshoot it again.
Yeah.
But for me, when I'm forcing stuff on the days like yesterday, it's just like 50-50 chance they're going to like it or not.
Yeah, so this is like a recurring client.
Yeah.
So that's where it can be forced sometimes because they always need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier, or like even for weddings, because I used to do weddings too. On some days you like, I don't want to.
This is the last thing I want to do.
Like, I don't want to go right now.
Especially weddings. You're like, I don't want to be fake happy. I don't want to put on. That's my whole thing with weddings. It's like, I don't mind shooting the wedding. It's just like, it's like you have to be a conductor. You have to conduct them. You have to
100%.
Yeah. It's like some days I got diarrhea, man. I don't want to do this.
Right.
And that's the toughest part is, because it's not just like, if you're shooting music or, well, in your case, you can't really have an off day either because you're literally dealing with, you and that model with that client. But sometimes you're just like, I don't mind shooting, but I don't want to deal with the social aspect of people. And you just have to power
That's
through
what's kind of cool with music and stuff too, because you can put in earplugs and just do your own thing. And they're like, okay, cool, do your thing.
You're not talking.
Right.
Same thing with sports. You're not talking to anybody. Like, hey, hold on. Redo that.
Which helps me be more of a hermit, which might be counterintuitive sometimes.
Sometimes it's just like I get on the autopilot type of thing. And just like, okay, I know why I'm here. I know how to get decent job done. Let me just get through it and get it done. Because I've also like recently learned like if I do an event out of 500 images, I cannot expect that every image out of that 500 will be perfect.
Yeah,
right.
It's fucking realistic.
Yeah, and two, sometimes with events, like the client doesn't even care about how perfect each image is. They just want quantity over quality.
Oh my god!
Dude.
Lately, over this last whatever happened in the last year, they don't even care about quality. They just like you give them 1,000 images, they're like, well, can we get another 1,000? Well,
shit.
Like, dude, no. Like, next event, I'll shoot a little bit more. So but
because to them it's like, especially events and like corporate businesses who will hire you for an event, they're very like ones and zeros. They're like, oh, we gave you this amount of money and we got this amount of images. Instead of having 100 perfect images, they'd rather have 500 mediocre images because in their eyes, they're not looking at how perfect the image is. There's like a monetary value.
Gotcha. Yeah. So they're looking at more so the value.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We had it for 5 hours. We got 600 photos versus Yeah, you got like 50 really, really good photos though.
Yeah. And it's like, and then 9 out of 10 times, like, I don't even know if they're going to use all these images, and then what would they use them for? And it's like,
And they're all the same. Like if
Yeah, it's all this clearly the same event.
if there is a guy, one guy is on a stage for 2 hours,
Yeah.
like
We're in the same thing. You know, it's all the same.
same thing. And especially if he doesn't even walk,
Yeah.
you're like, well, okay, you got 600 images on the stage.
yeah.
And like, what are you going to use them
Yeah,
for?
you're using every focal length you have to
Right.
try to
Yeah,
switch
just-
it up and make it different.
Anybody got 500?
Yeah.
I already used my 70 to 200.
Yeah, it's
But I got wide. I got close. I got mid.
yeah. So that's like you have to like almost go into it knowing how the client might be.
Yeah.
And you have to like you have to check your perfect your perfect wanting. I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've learned that no matter how much you give them, no matter how much you
Yeah,
tell them,
they always want more.
You can
more.
always, you could always give them more.
Always more.
Always give them more.
Yeah.
Or like this lady hired me for this event coming up, I think July something. She's like, well, we need images like almost right away. Can you give us like, unedited images? I'm like, no, I don't do unedited. But if you do want them within 24 hours, give me some more money.
Yeah.
She's
I'll turn
like,
around for you immediately.
Oh, you can do that? I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do that. But
See how this whole money thing works?
right. I was like, I have to put everything else on the burner. 'Cause
Yeah.
my turnaround time usually 7 to 10 days. She's like, okay, no problem. Just tell us how much. I'm like, where's all my clients like that?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That's funny because we had, I think 2 episodes ago with Ashley, I had asked Mike and Ashley if they shot any projects where they're just shooting and delivering RAWs. And so he says, yeah.
I've shot that before.
I've said, certain gigs.
Yeah.
Very certain gigs.
Yeah.
Okay, in your case, you're a little bit more
Very
selective.
little, but they also paying you for that.
Right.
It's not just like
Cheaper because you're not editing.
exactly. They add to it. I've shot recently for this man. I don't remember the name of them. I'm not gonna give them shout out anyways.
Yeah, they don't know.
This company also, because they hired me to do like a bunch of branding stuff, and it was like a whole day shebang. And the way I quote them, if I would edit myself, I would make like X amount of dollars, and they're like, well, what if you don't edit? I'm like, well, if I don't edit, you guys just give me like 30% less if I were to edit, because I wanted to kind of be a little bit reasonable but fair. And they're like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. In my situations, it's always sports photography. It's always sports photography. So like if I'm like transferring live to an editor,
Yeah.
then he'll edit it so that I'm not editing it. Or for instance, I did like a editorial shoot for the NFL for the Raiders media day.
Yeah. I
And
saw
that
that.
one's like, they don't need me to edit it.
Right,
you
right,
know?
right.
So those are the only situations, but like a personal client,
How was that experience?
it was very cool. It was also it was very nerve wracking. Those bigger shoots, man. It's like, and then it's crazy too with these bigger clients. I feel like I get less information. They just expect you to like do it perfectly, So I have to like pull out information of them. Otherwise, they're just like, yeah, dude, like you should know how to do this. You should know how to do this stuff.
You should know what we want without us telling
Well,
you.
and they should know, like, I think they just figure that, like, and they're also dealing with so many different teams and stuff.
for
So it's
sure.
like, they're like, yeah, dude, like, you're professional. Like, if you need
Well,
more
they're-
information, ask for it.
Well, they also probably like you shot something, then they keep shooting so much stuff on a weekly basis to where they're like, okay, just. I don't think it's even. They don't want to give information because they just do this shit on weekly basis to where just go shoot and get out type of thing. Like we don't just get it done.
Yeah. But it was awesome. It was a good
Nice.
time, and I'm pretty proud of myself. It was,
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, the light setup, whatever you shared, looked pretty good.
Oh,
man.
thanks. It was, it's pretty standard. Just like 4 light, key overhead.
Yeah.
With a 6-foot umbrella, 2 rims, and then a fill. Pretty standard stuff on a gray background.
Dude, I'll share one quick experience. So I worked at Mr. Olympia one time.
Okay.
Insane, right?
Yeah.
I had the back pass, back whatever back door, not a back door, but
Full access.
That's it, full access. And I've never seen so many lights on one picture. Mm-hmm. His name is Pierre Bernard, a photographer. He does probably every single fitness magazine cover that you see. He shot it.
Yeah, really?
Most likely.
Yeah.
and he was shooting the, before they go on the stage, all pumped up. There was 1, 2, 3, about 10 to 12 lights.
Okay. Damn.
It was crazy, but the reason why he used so many lights is because they were on a lower power, so the recycling time, so that way he just out. Because just like back to your point, you have 10 seconds with each athlete, and you better fucking nail it, because otherwise you're out.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And then this other guy actually took his workshop. He shot Mayweather, he shot Pacquiao for their fight, and it was the same thing. He had with Mayweather, he had 5 seconds.
Yeah. Dang.
5 seconds. So they brought a guy exactly the same height, exactly skin tones.
Right, just to nail everything.
Just to nail the shot. He out, and he's like, okay. He didn't even say, I don't want to knock anybody down. He didn't say hi, nothing. Literally out.
Done.
Yeah.
Count to 5. He's out.
Holy shit. That's originally I was told that I would have about 7 minutes with each player, and that's what I was the most stressed about, because I had 5 different looks, and then each look I needed a certain amount of images. But gratefully, I had much more time than they thought I was gonna have.
That's good.
But I was fully prepared for that. And the first couple, you could tell I was a little rushed, and I was like, okay, chill. I have a little bit more time. Calm down, reset. So that was the hardest part, is the time frame.
Yeah, for sure.
And then not overthinking it.
Yeah. Oh, good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
lose my sleep over
Not
that.
overthinking it, huh?
I don't know. That work? That's just water.
It's fancy water.
Okay, for those that may see or may not, I am about to drink liquid death. Mountain water. This is fancy as hell.
Yeah, we got to bring out the nice stuff for you.
We can't,
Wow.
Can't do a podcast without our
Holy
water.
Shit. I feel fancy. Well, cheers, guys.
Cheers, my man.
Looks like I'm drinking beer. By the way, I don't drink. This is water.
For let the record state.
Wow.
So speaking of rates, I wanted to ask, how do you set your rates? Now, you don't have to give your rates, obviously, but how do you set your rates? Do you go by time? Do you go by images?
Very good question.
We're full of good questions today.
Man, you guys full of good questions. I like it a lot.
And you're full of good answers, man.
So the structure, I'm restructuring everything as well, in terms of the rates, because I've been trying multiple things, and certain things work, certain things don't. So I came up with this. For the new brand that I'm doing, for branding photography, it's going to be just one set rate, right?
Okay.
Where you can have 2 looks, for example, but I don't want to put time limit.
Gotcha.
Here's why. So on any shoot that people always want to, let me just track back. Every time I get a DM, I call the price. They're like, oh, how many looks? Everybody goes, how many looks, how many hours? Or sometimes people like, hey, what do you charge for 30 minutes? Well, it only takes me 30 minutes to fucking set up. So So what I decided to do is, I don't want to put any times limitations. When I quote the price, for example, for the headshots, I'm like, no time limits. Doesn't matter how many outfits you want to bring as many outfits as you want, no time limit at all. But I'm also not going to keep you here all day. I know your time is valuable. Once we have everything, we're going to get you out of here as efficient as possible, but I don't want you guys, anyone, to feel rushed.
For sure.
And for the headshots, I usually charge set session fee, and then I add on an $100 per image to edit.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Because post-production also, and a lot of people well, just give us a raw. No problem, I'll give you the raw, but you're still gonna, this is how I make money, is over editing, because sometimes because my session fee is one thing, but then if somebody buys 20 images, that's an additional $2,000.
Right.
And for the branding people, it's not just branding people, but even product photography, I'm kind of wearing off to where if the first tier 25 images, the second tier 50 images, the other tier will be let's say 100, and it will be just base price like that. Boom, boom, boom. No time limits, none of that. Once we're done, we out.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, so for that type of stuff, because I found more with the higher end commercial work, you're doing proofs.
Well, for that's just like a branding stuff, or the coaches. For the commercial work, it's totally different. And a lot of people sometimes like, you guys are super expensive in Vegas. Where do you guys come up with these prices? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I know person in a fucking Kentucky charges 3 times more than me for the same work that I'm quoting you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And usually with commercial work, it's the price list, you know, we can break it down to the minimum, but like just as a basic day rate, assistant rate, depending on how many assistants you need, how elaborate the shoot is.
Right.
I need a digitech. I need somebody fucking watching what I'm shooting, and they're like, well, what's the difference between assistant and digitech? Well, digitech knows what the fuck I'm doing, and they're gonna tell an assistant is helping me to set up or move the light. So I need at least 2 people. Obviously it comes in like if we need more equipment, and sometimes people ask you, well, you're a professional photographer, shouldn't you have all the equipment? Well, not for that type of fucking shit. I don't use that on daily basis.
For sure.
The stuff that you're requesting. Like, for example, if they need like, 10K light, well, why would I buy 10K light if I'm going to use it once?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then the biggest thing a lot of people get turned off by is the licensing fee.
Oh, yeah.
That's something we've been talking about a lot recently.
Dude. And I'm not quoting like out of this world.
Right.
Depends on the company, whatever. Like, for example, I'm not going to say their names, but this bank.
It's okay. I know all the bank story about
I know that the crew that they hire to do the film, commercial here in Vegas, they spending at least $100,000.
Yeah.
Minimum. It's just on the minimum, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we want stills. And I didn't quote them anything out of this world. I told them just licensing fee outright. You can do whatever you guys want at $3,000. That's minus the fees, whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, where do you guys come up with these prices in Vegas? And I'm like, the earlier that I told you that line, that's exactly like, I'm like, what do you mean where do we come up? That's not even a standard licensing fee to buy out the images all right for forever and use whatever you want to do them.
Yeah.
Is it like, are they thinking though that Vegas is going to be cheaper than like LA or something? Is that why they're so flabbergasted?
I think they're expecting us here in Vegas to be cheaper than LA or New York, but reality is we have some amazing talent here in Vegas.
And we have some amazing clients here that will pay a good amount of money.
And we do. Thank you.
Yeah.
We have I get chills, man. We have crazy, like an amazing clients here. We have an amazing talent here, and people trying to downsize us as a creative or as a client base community where like, no, dude, we have everything that you want, probably even better than some of the LA stuff that I've seen or some of the New York stuff that I see. And I'm not saying everybody that way.
Yeah.
There is talent everywhere, but here specifically in Vegas, we have amazing artists, amazing videographers, amazing photographers in all genres of photography.
For sure. Yeah.
Gotta put a little respect on Vegas.
It's crazy. Like, even when back in the day before I even started photography, I was in music industry DJing, and I wasn't like,
okay,
I wasn't like anything special, but I've tasted to where, like, if you out of Vegas, you're nobody. But if I would tell them like, hey, I'm coming from LA, and they're like, oh, he has a Russian name, let's bring him in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
I
it's
get what you're saying. Yeah.
Vegas is still a beautiful city.
Yeah.
In many ways,
And Vegas, I feel like recently is just
popping,
exploding.
Yeah.
Popping.
Exploding so much we're running out of water.
That's right.
We are running out of water.
We are running out of water.
Shit.
But
it's another episode.
Yeah, but that's the whole idea behind this. It's like we want to like just highlight dope people in Las Vegas and
Absolutely.
like build a community so we can all help each other, not us versus them. It's like all of us can like, help each other out,
There is enough for everyone.
Yeah, Dalton Campbell like told me a few years ago, he's like, there's enough work for everybody. There's no need to be
100%.
Rude to each other.
You know Dalton?
Oh, I know Dalton, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dalton's the homie. Yeah. Dalton's a good guy.
He's a great guy.
I actually want to have him on soon.
I met him on a weird corporative gig. I mean, I've known him like on Instagram too, and then I'm looking at him, I was like, Dalton? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, what's up?
The Spider-Man meme. You're just pointing at each other.
You're like, shoot. Is that him?
Yeah, he's the man.
You?
Yeah.
What is?
Another example. Amazing videographer, man.
Dude, the shit.
And musician.
Yeah, and he's an open book. Like if you
Yeah.
ever need anything,
He's a musician and a book.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. He's creating
Yeah.
his own soundtrack for his own podcast as he's reading his book.
Yeah. But
Sick.
yeah, do you have you worked with anybody? Like, do you have like a dream client that you'd like to work with, or do you have any, or like have you already worked with your dream client, or who's like your favorite client?
Motherfuckers, how do you guys come up with these questions? Did you guys like brainstorm what to ask?
Always, yeah. We
That's
always try to
great.
come pretty prepared.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You guys do your homework.
We sent you the outline, but you didn't.
I didn't read. I'm a bad student. No, I did read it a couple times. You know, because when I read that question, I'm like, holy crap, how do you even answer that question, you know?
Yeah,
It doesn't
think-
have to be a client. It could be a situation.
I think not even, you know, now that I'm like kind of trying to brainstorm as I'm sitting here, like obviously through time as a photographer, you know, every year scenarios changing because you
Yeah.
grow and so on. Like back in the day, it was like, oh man, it would be so cool to shoot Suicide Girls. Right now, I'm like, fucking Suicide Girls. Fuck, you know, why was I even thinking that?
Yeah,
Why was I even-
2014.
yeah, like why was I even thinking that would be like so cool to do? Like, you know,
Yeah.
or like later down the road, like I was thinking something else. And I don't think like maybe even, you know, and it's not even like a dream or anything like that, but it would be a challenge.
Ooh.
Challenge to
Okay.
photograph the top American photographer.
okay. So you want to photograph the top American photographer?
Yes, the only American photographer that ever photographed the Queen,
Oh, okay.
Elizabeth II.
Oh, shit.
that'd be sick.
You guys don't know who it is?
No.
Oh wow.
Cool. Drop some knowledge.
So she's an American-born photographer.
Okay.
The one of the most famous photographers in the world, Annie Leibovitz.
Oh, it sounds familiar.
Wow, I'm sitting with two people who don't know who Annie is.
No, yeah, Annie. What is it, Annie?
I probably butcher her last name, Leibovitz, or
Yeah, no, it sounds familiar, but I'm not familiar with her work. But the name does sound
yeah,
familiar.
she's the only American photographer who
Okay.
photographed Queen Elizabeth II. Yeah,
Dang.
Nice. All right.
And you want to photograph her?
yeah, that would be
That's
extremely
cool.
challenge.
Do you have
very
a-
intimidating?
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Because of the prestige.
Because she knows her shit.
For that shoot, she had 15 assistants.
15?
15 assistants?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it would be just a challenge to photograph her and to deliver the
How many
image.
assistants would you bring to shoot her?
Just I would bring every single person in Vegas. Every
person you do.
I need help.
I need everybody.
Bring the crew. Bring everyone.
But that's interesting. That's an interesting
Concept?
Yeah, but I like that. That's an interesting goal to have. It's like it's not photographing somebody that's used to being on that side of the lens. It's somebody that is on our side.
Yeah.
I want to photograph. I like that. Good answer, dude.
And she's like, it would be like a child because celebrity. Here's also like in the last few years, I'm like, it would be cool to photograph like a celebrity, right? But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, the same people like you and I and everybody else. The only difference is like they've been more fortunate in the sense that they were in the right place at the right time to become a
Right.
celebrity. And I'm
Yeah.
not talking about the influencers. That's
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
different thing. Like I'm talking about like, for example, Brad Pitt. Good looking ass motherfucker. He knows how to act. He was at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
That's where he's at now, right? Or like George Clooney or whatever.
Yeah,
Any top actors. And it's like to photograph them, it's just like photographing any other person, but with like Annie, it would be a challenge. Or even like Joey L. It would be a fucking
Yeah,
challenge to
yeah.
photograph
Yeah.
him because he would be dissecting every single
Exactly.
fucking move you're doing.
Yeah.
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 You know?
Yeah, it's pretty nerve wracking. I photographed a fellow photographer's wedding.
That's
And
wow.
it was like nerve wracking because like, the whole time I'm thinking, oh, she's looking at me. She's,
Yeah.
she's, you know what I mean?
right.
But
And that's why when I asked Enrique or Miguel to photograph my wedding, that's exactly why they said, we're respectfully gonna decline that.
Hard pass.
Right,
Yeah.
which I totally understand, you know. And at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it worked out great because
And I'm sure they were there anyways, right?
Well, it was COVID, so
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
they were there on Zoom.
Oh,
Right.
well, then they were still there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they're probably like, no, man, I want to enjoy it anyways because you guys are all friends and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
exactly. But at the end of the day, we hired a photographer that I always was making fun. If I ever get married, he's gonna be my photographer.
Yeah.
And he was available, and it turned out
So it
to be
worked out
great.
for the best.
Nice.
Fucking amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be super stressful. I wouldn't want to shoot a friend's
Yeah,
wedding.
it's fucking
Yeah.
because
It's
you're
stressful.
like, yeah, they're a photographer, and that's you're thinking the whole time like, oh, they're wondering what my setting is, or if you're like, oh, hold on one sec, just stay there. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, so they think
And
I'm fumbling.
in reality, it's probably the vice versa because they're like, I hired you so I didn't have to think about that shit.
Yeah.
So you could do your own
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, because the times where we hire somebody when we travel to like do something, I'm literally like a dude. I'm like, where do I stand? What? Like
Yeah.
the complete, like I go like total guy brain where I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? Like
No,
just
like-
stand there, and I'm like, okay.
And a lot of times too, sometimes my wife likes to point that stuff out. When we're somewhere at the event, oh, he's a photographer too. Like, please don't tell him. You can't do that. It puts
My girl
more,
does that too. I'm like,
it puts more pressure on the
Yeah.
people. I'm just a regular person.
I'm a
Let them
regular
do their
guy right
thing.
now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
and
just-
then they want a small talk, and then
Yeah.
And then if they see your work, and then they're impressed, and then they get like maybe weird or
Or
something.
vice versa. Like we walk in, we just had a staycation for my birthday, and we just walk in at the pool, and we walked second time, and I guess people like maybe felt vibes that we're comfortable asking us to snap a photo.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife, they're like, hey, can you guys take a picture? My wife, oh, he's a photographer, he'll do better.
I get what you're saying.
And now
Okay.
if I fuck up this photo,
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, what kind of photographer is he?
Yeah, and that's what they
Every
say.
time.
Yeah.
Because when I take an iPhone photo, I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
not.
literally, every
Take
time
the
I'm like,
shit.
oh, can you take this photo? Oh, he's a photographer. I'm like, this is an iPhone. This is different. Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Hopefully I got it.
Yeah, it's wild.
Don't come hunt me down if I gave you a shitty iPhone photo.
Yeah.
Probably did.
Probably did, yeah.
Yeah,
Wild.
yeah. When I use the phone, I'm like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me has like the evil side where you're like, I hope I take a bad phone photo just for the sake of irony, you know? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, you cut out one of us. It's like, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Speaking of people you photographed, I noticed you photographed Ron White.
Yeah.
How was that?
Wow. At first, it was like nerve-wracking.
Did you have a short time with him, or was this like an actual slowed down? You could actually take your time.
No, it was very short time because I was only allowed to come there, and it was after the show. And after the show, he doesn't want to be photographed.
Yeah.
He wants to smoke his joint. He wants to drink whatever the drink he's drinking.
Right.
So I literally had probably less than 5 minutes with him. But I also, I wanted to respect him because I knew he just got out of the show. He's an older gentleman. He just wants to like
Do his own
Chill,
thing.
yeah.
just chill. And
Yeah.
I was like, let me just get you in, get you out. So I didn't even experience Ron White. All I experienced is just
Guy in your photo.
aftermath after the show to where like just get this shit done and get out type of
Yeah.
thing, you know. And it's not because of him. It's just obviously he just done with work.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is just chill, you know.
Yeah, for sure. It's like anybody, they just get off work. they
And it
wanna
was just
chill.
you know, Mirage, Dingity, whatever dress room.
Yeah.
And you know they would try to push more promoting like, well, let make sure he's whatever tequila or whatever he's selling, make sure that's in the photo. I'm like, I'm not really here for this.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, it was cool because it's like a lot of people don't know who Ron White is, but I mean, he's a funny motherfucker.
Dude, he's a
Yeah.
legend.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's really really good as a comedian. Like well, here's what I've learned too from one and the only like in-person workshops that I did is when person that you don't know, especially person of
Status.
A, B, C, whatever status of celebrity, when they walk in, shake their hand, tell them your name, and tell them exactly what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it, to where they like understand that you respect their time.
Right.
And I think for me, that's exactly what happened. So when he walked in, I was like, Ron, I'm Yev. I'm just gonna take a quick moment, take a couple images of you right here in this chair. The light is set. I just gonna adjust your posing to make sure we get the best image of you as we can.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay.
It takes all of their thought out of it. You give them all the information they need,
Right.
not too much.
Yeah.
And they don't have to think.
Right.
It's the same thing with like posing. Just like, hey, boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. Yeah, and then when you knock it out quick and they're like, oh, rad, that was quick.
Yeah.
And then
They're thinking the same thing. Like, okay, fucking take this photo. What do you want me to do?
Right.
Yeah.
Where am I going? And you're just like, hey, sit down. We're gonna handle this. Cool.
Yeah, I feel like that initial hi, how you doing? My name is this is what I'm here for, and that's how we're gonna get there, takes a lot of pressure of any shoot. Like, so to anybody that's struggling with like, well, how to break the ice, that's the best way. It's like shake, tell them what and how.
Yeah,
man, well, the main thing is releases pressure from us as the photographers to where you kind of like let them know what. Obviously they know you're about to take a picture of like, but it takes off the pressure for sure. It's like it's been an incredible nugget that I learned from that in-person workshop that I've taken. That's crazy good. Works every single time, man.
Yeah, I think that also like shaking somebody's hand, or at least introducing, somebody working to client relationship, I think it establishes a level of, I don't want to say respect, but it establishes like a almost relationship. Yeah, because otherwise if you didn't, he's just gonna sit down, you're just a guy pushing a button, boom boom, off, who cares? But at least you're like, hey, like you said, I'm respecting our 5 minutes we have together, that this guy's taking my photo, this is what I'm doing, cool, I appreciate you, now I'm off into the sunset.
And the same thing like with weddings. When I used to shoot a lot of weddings, it was the same way. For the most part, people expect you to be not just a photographer, but a wedding fucking planner when you don't even get paid for that.
You have to guide them through that situation.
Right. But the guiding and posing, and also like not that I don't like weddings, I just prefer not to do them because it takes a lot on my body.
It's a lot.
And that's why I'm kind of like stopped doing them. And what I've learned from doing the weddings is how to control the crowd and people.
Yeah.
And I'm very comfortable of doing it, and that kind of like small tool that I have in my box, where it doesn't matter where I'm at, I can guide everyone and anyone to where get it done. Otherwise, nothing is happening.
That is so crucial, especially on bigger production shoots, because people will just stand around.
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced that too, like especially with nightclubs and like photographing a bunch of like their staff. And it's like, they're just like, oh, why are we here? You got to command the room. You got to control the room.
100%.
Yeah. I remember I did it once. We were doing a group, and a buddy of mine, he's like, oh, you could take, because I used to work at a wedding chapel when I was like 19 as a wedding photographer. And it's the same thing. And then my buddy was like, oh yeah, you could take Mike out of the chapel, but you can't take the chapel out of Mike or some shit. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, it was like the same thing. You just got to command the room and control them.
Yeah.
Because people, like, I think naturally will just stand around if they don't have direction.
They're going to bullshit. They're going to chat. Oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah. So it's like, we talked about it before. It's like herding cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were at a wedding. Yvonne and I were at a wedding, and she was in the wedding. She was a bridesmaid, and I was just a guest. And she had, the bride had 10 bridesmaids. And then he had like 9 or 10 equally groomsmen.
That's a lot.
And the photographer was trying to corral 20-something people, and I was just sitting back because, like I said, I wasn't in it. And I just remember standing there for like a good 30 minutes, and I was like sitting like praying. I was like, "Lady, you gotta speak up," because she was like standing there. Okay. And I was just like, every bone in my body was like, oh my God, lady, you got to command these 20 retards. Like, come on. And it took so long just to get like the one group shot. And I was like dying inside of my,
I think
gotta
too,
earn their respect.
The one tip I can give too with being that is just being almost just being the loudest person. Usually works 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah. You either have to be the loudest in the room or know that find that loud person with a friend, because that's what I'll do sometimes too. If I can't get everyone, and I'm like, hey, loud friend or loud cousin, get everyone I need and let's get this going. And then they're always like, okay, cool.
Works all the time. Yeah.
I got a job. And then
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I had another question I wanted to ask you, Yev. Do you prefer fully in studio work, or do you like doing more environmental portraiture, like where you're mixing ambient and artificial light?
I'm comfortable to shoot anything.
Oh, sorry guys, it's just my coffee pot turning off. You're good.
Are you sure? I'm just kidding. No, I'm comfortable to shoot anything, but I enjoy environmental.
Okay.
Because you can kind of like place, because in the studio, like, white wall, whatever, red wall, it's cool too, because like I can like a lot of Miguel always says too, like every time I go to Target, I'm like, man, Yev can do this shit in his sleep. But like the environmental stuff,
Yeah.
like I've worked with this guy a lot of times. Like when I want to do some cowboy stuff, Joe, I've shot a bunch of cowboy stuff with him, and it's all environmental. And every portrait is like, it's outside, but it's lit.
Yeah.
But I try to not to overlight it, but it shows where the person is. Like,
Yeah.
you can see them.
A little context to the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah. Because that's like something. Because I think that is so much more difficult. Because like once you learn lighting and once you learn studio lighting, you're totally blacking out the ambient light in the room.
Yeah.
So then you have to mix the ambient light with the artificial light, and then you're matching color
Yeah.
temperatures with gels, and like it's just so challenging. But it's so much fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It is challenging. So like
Yeah.
if you're shooting, like obviously if you're shooting like in somewhere warehouse or something where the different lights, that's definitely challenging. Like the outdoor stuff as an environmental, it's a little bit less challenging because
Yeah.
daylight, it's very
Yeah.
similar to the strobes.
Yeah.
But environmental stuff, it's nice because also you going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like, shooting on a mountain somewhere, it's freaking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus just like you said, the white wall or the red wall.
Yeah. I mean, the editorial stuff, it's all, white wall, red wall, or some kind of a gray or whatever. And it's cool too, because at the end of the day, you're capturing the subject, not the wall type of thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I've shot with Joe on Mount Charleston. I've shot this guy in Ward with his horses too. We shot it on Mount Charleston too, where he's like riding his horse and shit. Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just something different.
Yeah.
I noticed too with some of your editorial work, there's one image I'm thinking of in particular. There's a gentleman, he's wearing a mustard colored sweater with a red background.
Yeah.
Okay, and it looks like you shot with a little wider of a focal length.
Yeah. I
Like-
know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so like do you switch it up with your focal length too to like,
So my
because that just looks like fun and poppy and like,
so my go-to is 50 millimeter
okay.
Canon 1.2.
Oh.
I purchased it refurbished, not new.
Yeah, you got to, man. You got to.
Yeah.
Like in
sometimes.
2015.
Okay.
Oh, dang.
I had that sucker for so many years now.
It's got
Okay.
some miles on it.
Yeah, but I do like to switch up sometimes to put like 35 mil.
Yeah.
And funny that you're talking about this image, because that image got me doors to shoot some stuff. I stopped working with them. I don't know, just parted the ways, because that type of work doesn't really pay a lot. Like editorial work or fashion stuff doesn't really pay in Vegas.
Yeah.
But when I shot that guy, he's actually signed with TNG Models here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they're like,
I think my friend Ryan shoots for them.
yeah,
he's dope too.
Ryan, I forget
Bellinger-
his last name.
Bellinger, I
Yeah.
think.
He's kind of like in-house photographer with them.
Yeah.
And when they saw that image, they're like, "We want to have a meeting with you." I'm like, sounds important. I'm not that important. and the owner, like she's a great lady. She's great business oriented person, and that's
Right.
one thing she pointed out. She's like, "Man, I've never seen anyone lighting dark skinned people like you do.
Yeah.
The trick is, I don't know what the trick is. I just light them the way I light it, and it wasn't anything.
I was gonna say, I think
Spectacular.
the trick is in the model sometimes.
Model
I feel like darker skin people typically have really nice skin.
so much easier to
Yeah.
edit.
Yeah.
So much easier to edit.
Yeah.
Yeah, more times than not, they do. Yeah, have better skin.
Yeah. What's the saying? Black
Yeah.
don't crack.
Yeah.
They look so good.
And
Yeah.
sometimes, and for that particular image, I'm pretty sure I was shooting with 35 because of
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
of the studio space where I was, because it's a ANG studio. They're no longer there. We had to shut it down with that guy because of the COVID, but it's a compact space, and 35 I felt like would be perfect for that spot.
Yeah. It just has like such a dope feeling to it.
Yeah, it gives him a little bit bigger sense of feeling bigger than he actually is.
Yeah, with the lens distortion.
Yeah.
But and then too the contrast between like that maroon backdrop with that mustard sweater.
Man, it was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And his
Did you
dark skin.
plan that fit out?
he brought the outfit. I told him like, look, I'm shooting something on red. Make sure it's something that's gonna pop out of.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's what
Yeah.
he brought.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a nice color
He didn't
coordination.
disappoint.
Yeah, no, because he
Yeah.
also he's at Circus du Soleil show Love.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I've seen him around. I think
Yeah.
Enrique shot him as well.
Yeah, David shot him one time with me.
Oh yeah, David's another dope guy I
Yeah.
follow. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen his face on like people's
Yeah.
Instagrams and stuff.
Yeah, he's been
dope.
shooting a lot with people here in town. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
really good, man. Blair, that's what his name.
Oh, his name's Blair.
Fucking always forget his name. His name is Blair.
Okay.
Yeah, dope guy too, man.
Dope.
British, he speaks with. He's from London.
Oh yes, he's got a dope accent.
Yeah, Englishman.
Oh, he's
Is
got
there-
the full package.
Is there any projects, or do you currently do any projects that are not paid that are just for yourself or just for a model? I'm going to call them personal projects.
I do.
Okay.
Here's the importance of personal projects. So personal projects, number one, there is no time constraints, right? You can do them whenever you want to do them. There is no deadline. And I feel like personal projects for us creatives are important because, well, you create whatever you want. There is no one to, what's the word I'm looking for? Impress other than yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, hey, we're gonna go try do this. If it works out, great. If not,
No
at least
pressure.
we had a good time, you know.
Yeah.
And I like doing those projects because it really gives the relief of creation without limitations, but also without any expectations.
Right.
Nice.
And it's I will never stop doing personal projects. Like
Okay.
I will always do personal projects for whatever reason because it's like, well, also a lot of personal projects got me a lot of good jobs.
Right. I was just going to say
Makes
it's a
sense.
double-edged sword, and then you could take the personal projects
Yep.
to learn or try something and go, oh shit, this works.
100%. Like personal projects are very important, regardless of the genre of photography you're in. Like even as a wedding photographer, dude, there's so many fucking people would put on the dress
Yeah.
and a suit just to pose for you to try something new. Or as a fitness photographer, dude, so many fucking runners.
Yeah,
Well,
they would love that shit.
Whatever, basketball players will
Yeah.
go and jump, hoop, whatever to do. Or like, and also if you do like editorial stuff, there's models will line up out of your fucking door
Right.
Yeah,
just
especially
to
if you
shoot
give.
for free
Yeah.
to experiment.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
as soon as you put word free,
Yeah.
Damn, I'm busy.
Yeah. Yeah. I just gave away one of my older lenses and I put the word free.
That
and
was dope.
It was fucking
Gone.
I was gonna create an account with a different name.
Yeah,
Say I'm new.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Dude, yeah, so many people. I was like, fuck. And to the point where I was like, I don't know what to do now.
Well, the best.
Too many people hit you.
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
the best way to do it is put number to every name, random number creator. Hey, here you
Yeah,
go.
well, because I wanted to give it to somebody who's like newer, you know.
Who
And then
really,
I
like,
did get
use
hit
it.
up by some people that were, you know.
Not new.
Not.
Yeah, I
like,
was
come
like-
on, man.
Like, yeah, you
Yeah.
could go buy one. Come on.
And I was like, yeah, I was like, you're pretty established, but you know. So I did find a guy
Nice.
who's he shoots. He's actually a pretty good shooter, but he's also a security guard. So I was like, hopefully, I'll give you this lens.
oh, is it the kid from
Marcus?
Wayne?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's cool, man.
Shout out to
That's
Marcus.
so nice of you, man.
Oh, thanks.
Shout out to Mike, man,
Thanks.
for being
Yeah.
a nice citizen of Las Vegas, Nevada.
I try.
Giving out stuff.
I try.
Doing what he can for the greater
Yeah. So
good.
my next project would be with this guy. He goes by name Jay Ward, also a dope musician.
Oh yeah, I've chat with you, Word.
Yeah, and he's the one who I was just messaging away here. Is like, bro, like nothing comes to mind. I need a brief moment. And he's my male muse, man. I shot like
A lot of stuff, yeah.
a lot of time because I'm comfortable with him. He's willing to experiment with me. He never looks down on my ideas and like, you fucking crazy motherfucker. He's just
This
like, yeah,
sucks.
let's go.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
he throws me some crazy ideas and we just go with
Nice.
the flow.
So it's very
man.
collaborative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we did this one shoot with him. It got in that Vogue Italia, whatever. It's Vogue.
Award
That's
winning.
still pretty sick, dude.
I mean, I do have 2 awards, but but again, the people who gave me the award, they know me.
Yeah.
My friends. Anyways, but it's a different story, different conversation. But And we shot with him and Katie's house, the girl that we were talking about, the vintage house in Vegas, in downtown, and she styled everything. And it's not because it got like whatever Vogue tag on it, but it was like he had this idea, I had this idea. I'm like, you do music, let's do something musical.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And she dressed him up as like literally like as, I mean, the outfits, and then we had this one image. He's holding the old ass mic. And I was shooting wide lens too because it's a small compact, but it's just it worked.
It worked. Yeah.
With just literally just one fucking light blasting it, and he's just like yelling, and again, it's because of that personal project.
Yeah.
It was just,
and you had the mental freedom to just do whatever and play around. You weren't confined to a time limit by the client and this and that. Yeah, that's important, man. I did a few personal projects over COVID, and unfortunately I haven't since.
Yeah.
But I do need to find the balance, and like
you got to find the balance. Like I did one, I think it's been like 2 months now, but yeah, another, she's a model. I had shot with her on a MGM shoot, and she was in town 'cause she bounces back and forth. And same thing. I was like, hey, I don't really have time, but I really want to do some creative portraiture with the Godox tube lights I have.
nice.
I was like, hey, I just want to, just kind of like just come over, bring a few outfits, and just let's just go crazy. And she came over. She had a meeting at TNG, so she was like, I got like 45 minutes. I was like, perfect. That's all I need. I'll set everything up. You come in, and we'll just go.
Yeah, perfect.
And it was like such a good thing. I still got to edit them, but the point is like. Is that there's no expectation. She's cool. She's comfortable with me. We've shot before, and we're just going boom, boom, boom. You're looking at the images.
Yeah.
Cool. Go on to your meeting. And
Perfect.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's good to just shoot with no expectation. Because if they come out like shit, oh, hey, sorry, I took up 45 minutes of your time and I suck or whatever.
Yeah.
But we got it out,
Yeah, I gotta figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to juggle when you are busy.
Yeah.
But it's good for your soul to just kind of.
Yeah,
Go
I've
for
had actually
something.
like some personal projects outside of photography, which have been cool.
Nice.
Like just working on the house and shit.
Yeah.
What are you building?
Nothing crazy. Just like, I inherited a house from my mother a few years ago. My brother and I. So we're just modernizing it.
But
Just
that's
like,
cool too.
Yeah, just like fun stuff to like work on.
That's the biggest struggle. Like I want to find a hobby. That's why like podcast
Yeah.
for me was like, let me start my own too.
Yeah,
Takes the brain away from the camera and so on. But I also want to find like some other hobby that has nothing to do with creating like visual arts or sound or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another
Fucking
question.
fishing or some shit.
Yeah, that's another question I had. Do you have anything that, I know you have a family, maybe that is a nice outlet to keep your brain off of it, like maybe if you do stuff with them, but do you have anything right now that's another hobby outside of
Well, I guess like
photography?
the other hobby would be like fucking yoga, man.
Oh, so you do, okay,
Oh,
cool.
okay.
It's really helps with brain.
Yeah.
And the main reason why I kind of like stopped doing the weddings, not completely. I mean, I still like people request a wedding. I'm just throw out crazy number, and if they're willing to pay,
I was gonna
it,
say you'll still make the money.
right? If they're willing to pay it, I'll do it. Otherwise, like I love weddings in terms of like what the weddings represent and what they do, combining families. I enjoy the actual weddings and dancing, and it's a lot of fun. But the body beating that I was getting, I was like, I can't. And I was working out, pushing weights and everything, and then gym closed during the COVID. And then we're living in this complex, and we always see this yoga sticker from this lady. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, and they opened, and I'm like, let me just try yoga again.
Yeah.
And ever since, like for the last year, I've been doing yoga, and the body feels totally different.
Okay.
I can handle more shit. And it's crazy, like from lifting weights and working on the back, I was still getting a lot more beat up than from doing yoga. And yoga is like my...
And you feel better overall doing the yoga in
Overall,
comparison to like lifting?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So much better, especially for the like longer days.
Yeah.
Or like when you have two bodies on your,
Yeah.
on the straps.
harness,
Like
yeah.
it still gets beat up, but much less.
Because that's like, I feel like a tight, I feel just constantly my body's just like...
Dude, I got another solution for you, man. As funny as it sounds.
What?
So my wife not recently, she discovered a long time ago, but now she actually is trying to go for the certification, like comprehensive certification, like 600-hour type of
Oh,
shit
dang.
Yeah.
before she can even test out.
Yeah.
Fucking Pilates, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My wife's been wanting to do Pilates.
Dude,
I heard it's like intense.
her teacher practitioner, whatever she called, I don't even know what their name is like, but she's like a top master of that. She's in her classes. And I go to her private, she moves my bones and everything, puts it in a place to where my body feels like I'm 20 years old.
Really?
I can't, like, dude.
Dude.
Yeah, they're
I need
crazy.
it.
Crazy plug. Viva Pilates in
Viva
Henderson.
Pilates in
Yeah.
Henderson. All right.
Yeah, there's one like up the street. Vaughn's been dying to go to. I'm like, just go. Oh, and then she gets like in her head, oh, what about
Here's
the other
the-
class? I'm like, you just have to go. If you want to do it and it's as good as it seems,
can't
like
think
you
about it,
just
just
gotta
do
go.
it.
So
Yeah.
also, gotta be careful where you go for the Pilates. I'm not gonna name anybody's names.
Oh.
Some of them are set up to where you just come in as like a boom boom intense workout.
Okay.
But they don't look at you if you're doing anything properly where people getting
Yeah.
hurt. Like my wife was going to this one studio. She witnessed a woman fell off the machine and breaking her not the leg but the hip.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
shit.
It's because there's a 30 people, one student, one teacher.
Yeah.
And you have to monitor what people do.
You actually
sure.
have to know what's going on.
Exactly.
Oh, interesting.
Exactly.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell her.
Yeah, I did CrossFit one time and it was kind of like that. We did like a whole beginner's class before we even started. Because for that same reason, people get injured so easily.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why like Miguel got hurt too, going to the same gym where I went to, and luckily I didn't. But it was also like high intensity type of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's great, you lose weight, yes, you get shredded, but they don't teach you how to do the push up. They push up, motherfucker, push up. Give me 20 more, give me 20 more.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people who never done a push up get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little too boot campy of just get it done, but
Yeah.
don't tell you how to do it correctly.
Yeah.
That's not good.
It's like build like a rapport with like the coach. and, like,
100%. Because Pilates is not meant for you to lose weight. It's supposed to tone your body, supposed to keep your body in a healthy shape, health where your bones and everything is healthy.
Because it's stretching based too, right?
It's some stretch, yes, but like my wife always puts me on a mat, and because she's learning how to practice, how to teach. Dude, my shit is on fire without even weights.
Yeah.
Like we do some exercises, you're like, holy shit, my arms on fire, my ass is on fire, my legs on fire. It's crazy what no weights can do to you.
What was the place you recommended?
Viva
Viva?
Pilates
Hold
in
on,
Henderson.
I don't have my phone. Via Pilates. I'm
Or
saying
Via?
it incorrectly.
VIA?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Via.
They're
In
in
Henderson. Good to
yeah,
know.
they're on a Lake Mead Parkway going towards like Lake Mead or the Lake Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
deep.
gotcha. Oh, yeah, deep
Yeah.
endo.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I need to stretch more. I need to think.
Yeah.
Do you stretch before you bike, or you just hop on the bike and go?
I'll
yeah,
do
you
a couple
bike.
boop boop, a little toe touchies.
Totachi.
Yeah.
Crazy. I
alright,
used to
I'm
bike too, man.
Yeah.
Sold my bike though.
Oh yeah.
I'm scared to be on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a hit or a miss. Like I'll go through cycles where I'll for like a few weeks I'll just ride my road bike and then I'll go just ride my mountain bike. I'll have like a close encounter with a car or something. Like, I'm gonna take a little
Back
break.
to- back
and
to
then
the
just
mountain.
back to the dirt.
Yeah, but there's nothing like climbing that hill looking at the traffic light.
Yeah.
Am
yeah.
I gonna make it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm so fucking like scatterbrained that cycling's fun because it's like you're almost like exploring. You can go somewhere
Yeah.
and do it. The gym, I do like lifting. I like the feeling I get, but I'm like, dude, it's just monotonous. That I'm in the gym and it's like, oh, I feel like weird. Am I in someone's way? And it's just there's always fucking a bunch of douchery happening.
Yeah.
So
Biking is freedom.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I can put on a podcast and I can just do my
Yeah.
thing. And I can do it straight from my house. Like I don't have to go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to wait for anybody. You can just get
Yeah.
on a bike and go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah. So every episode we like to ask our guest if there's any recommendations that they have. we have a couple different categories, but typically for the guests, we like to ask them if you have any recommendations that pertain to your craft. So like a technical recommendation, like is there anything that you would recommend that pertains strictly to, you know, like editorial photography, portrait photography? It could be anything like super simple or anything super extravagant, like light capture one and like the tethering, because tethering is so important.
Yeah,
All right,
anything that makes your life or your day to
I'm
day.
about to save anyone who's in this industry, who's starting out, who found this podcast and wondering how can you save money. I'm going to give you a biggest nugget.
Drop it.
Do not ever buy gray card.
Okay.
Fucking print that shit yourself.
Oh, okay. So just print out on a computer?
Print out on, dude, create. Here's another nugget. When you print something out, don't do it as JPEG, do it as PNG.
Okay.
You will not have any, not the lines, but you're not, what is it, the word I'm looking for. You know how when you do the gradient and it has like, you can almost see the gradient?
It's pixelated.
Yeah.
If you save that file as a PNG, you will not have that.
Oh, okay. So
You
it's
won't
cleaner.
have the-
It's cleaner.
Okay.
And when you print out that 50% gray thing, you can do it literally at your local Federal Express UPS store for like $2, and then just fold it and duct tape it in the back. It does the same thing as a $25, $50 card that you buy on Amazon.
Dang.
And you just click on that
Huge nugget.
motherfucker,
Yeah.
and it gets you almost to the point where you need to be.
Yeah. That's awesome.
For the product photography, you do need that color scheme thing. It's a totally different color science, whatever, because you want to be specific, especially if the, you know, blue shoes or red, whatever, you need it to be exact. But for editorial, like portrait photography, gray card, do it yourself, man. It's like literally print that shit yourself. Save money.
Dang.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Huge nugget.
there's a lot of things like that, but save money.
Yeah.
Because I'm also a firm believer, buy once, cry once.
Yeah.
However, there's certain things, you know, you can modify and save money, and that's one of those things that like you can print 10 of them instead of buying one, and then you lose them all the time anyways.
You can throw them away, whatever. You can couple
What's
them
that
up.
other saying? Buy nice or buy twice?
Yeah, for sure.
But this is one exception to that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll finish with this. Do you have any advice that you would give yourself when you first started photography or you first became freelance?
Wow. That's a deep question.
It is.
That's a really deep question. Oh man. You know, and you guys sent me the question and I was like thinking, and I think the biggest advice that I would tell myself then is probably the thing we just talked about, it like buy once and cry once. And here's why. Because over the last 10 years, I threw away so much unnecessary shit that was cheap, that was falling apart after one use, to where it's like, only if I knew that, I would overall save so much time and so much money for myself.
Buying a nicer
tripod for one of them, or like not having a flash, or just not having a flash and just save money and buy a nice, decent flash, or if you do video, like a really nice light. But mainly the tripods and a fucking light stands, bro. I threw away so many of the fucking light stands. I can
the shitty black ones, just trash.
Just C-stands. And I mean, oh my gosh, like I can probably go back and like on an Amazon or B&H list and just like see how much
wasted
money was just thrown away. Like, and I know like when I started photography, I wanted to like right away jump into the advanced stuff. But the reality is like, yes, I can still create something beautiful with the flash, but you know, it took that many years to get to that point. But like somebody once say, well, you use pro photos. Yeah, but doesn't matter what the fuck you use. But still try to buy and everybody's financial situation is different. And when we started out, we don't know where it's gonna go. Also, if you buy a nicer thing, and if you decided not to go with photography, you can at least resell and gain your money back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's always the tough thing too, is because there sometimes is those like hacks or things where it's like you don't need to buy that name brand, you could buy this and it works out.
Right.
But unfortunately, we end up learning the hard way, buying the cheaper thing, going, oh well, this one isn't one of those gems.
100%.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to just learn that lesson on your own.
Sometimes
You have to.
Yeah, because it's like, the financial situation too. You're like, oh yeah, I'll just get this now, and then in the long run, you're like,
Right. And,
buy it
and
twice
then
anyway.
you end up buying 3 of those, the same stands.
yeah,
You know, like literally, like I went through so many tripods and light stands. That was, and well, some light modifiers as well.
I was gonna ask, light modifiers. I feel like even the nicer ones that I have, I don't know about Pro Photo, but like my buddy shoots with Broncolors, and his are just falling apart.
Well, modifiers are not for Pro Photo. Fuck that, they're too expensive.
Okay.
But like the lights itself,
Yeah.
the reason why I use Pro Photo because they consistent pour out the same amount of
Okay.
light, and the same light does not
Yeah.
matter if it's fully charged or if it's like about to die.
Yeah.
But the light modifiers themselves, Pro Photo overcharging for them. Sorry, Pro Photo, when you'll sponsor me, I'll back you up.
Yes.
But they are definitely overpriced because you can, as a light modifiers, there are some companies that produce even better ones, because there's this one, Octobox, I guess.
Octobox?
You can buy that folds and you can travel with it.
Okay.
And you open up it
Whoa.
in 30 seconds, it open, versus Pro Photo, you have to put the fucking sticks in and
Dude,
all
I
of
can't
that.
believe. Because I use Photics for most of them, and they're all umbrella style. So it's like pop,
Exactly.
ready to go.
Exactly. And the
Yeah.
only thing for example, for this one, just get a Pro Photo ring and you're good to go. And it
Yeah.
pops out, pops in.
Okay.
And you don't have to put those wires. Like on a strip box, it's easier. It's 4 pins,
Yeah.
boom, boom. But for this one, it's, what is it, 12 of them?
Yeah, it takes forever.
Dude, like it takes so much time out of and it's no longer joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something I'm noticing too. I shoot with Godox lights, and they are a little bit older. They're not like the pros; they're like the 8600s.
Okay.
And I'm starting to notice a lot of inconsistency. Like if I shoot 20 times, 20 pops, one light, like the older one that I have, will always like fire at a full power. And I'm like, what the
yeah.
fuck? And it was happening on that shoot that I did.
Misfire
I was like,
sometimes.
Dude, yeah, no misfire, and then. Or one won't recharge as fast as the other one, even though it's the same charge on the battery. It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah, and that's throwing.
Yeah, that's the only thing that with the like a high-end lights like Pro Photo or my other buddy will tell me Pro Photo sucks and he goes with Broncolor.
Okay.
But it's just it's the consistency.
Yeah.
That's what you're paying for, is the consistency of the light comes out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they are expensive as fuck, man, and I wish I had more of them. But it's never fails, man. When they do work. I mean, when the bulb dies, everything dies. It's just the
Right.
way it is. But while it's firing, man,
On point.
always on point.
Yeah.
Always on point.
What's your upcoming work week like? Or you said you were taking a week off.
Yeah, so I'm taking a week off, which is another funny story. I got in United States of America from Moscow to JFK, 1997, July 4th.
Oh, okay, nice.
So what is this?
25 years.
25 years.
This July 4th will be
On
25
Monday- was it
years.
Monday, right?
Dude,
July
congratulations.
Next
That's so
Monday.
cool.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
4 years old, 25 years in America. It's crazy. And we're taking off. Yeah, we're going to take 1 week off, and I'm going to do my best completely unplug that week. I need a refresher. But this week is not done yet. So this week I'm just struggling with that. The client I have that I'm shooting the CBD products for, but I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to get it done.
Do you have anything fun planned for that celebratory week?
I do. We're
Yeah.
going to this little town in Northern California.
Okay.
We call it Village because it's so small. That's
awesome.
Maybe 5,000 people or less.
Okay.
Oh,
And
shit,
they
nice.
on the 4th of July, they're going to have a little parade with fire trucks, the water stuff.
Yeah. Just super low key.
And then we're just going to take a drive towards Big Sur.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to make it to Big Sur, but we're going to go at least through the Pebble Beach
Yeah.
17-mile drive.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to convince my wife to Big Sur it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful drive. Have you been? It's a beautiful
I've
drive.
been a couple of times. We went there for our honeymoon because everything was closed because of COVID. And but I want to go there one more time just to check it out again.
It's a good little
Beautiful
peace of mind.
place. Yeah, just to come out and sit and kind of like, ooh.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I think
This was a good session.
that was awesome. Yeah, I don't even know what time we're at, but like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Damn, we've been doing this
Dude,
shit for an hour and a half.
I know.
Wow.
That was wonderful. Thank you guys, and thank you, Yev, so much
Thanks for
being
jumping on,
here.
dude.
Yeah, thank you guys for having
And
me.
then if you have anything to plug, your podcast, your new company, plug away, my friend.
Where can people find your
let me
work?
people
pull out
find
my
you?
list.
Yeah.
Well, you can find the
Your new
spacing
company
out.
was the name
The
of
new
it?
company is keystyle.media.
Okay.
The old company is yevzphotography.com. That's sort of like more editorial type of thing. But the new company and the podcast is on Spotify only. I don't want to do anything else. Also will be under Keystyle Media.
Nice.
It's only one episode. This
right.
kind of inspired me to go home and maybe record the second episode.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
cool.
nice. Look
Yeah.
at that.
So we'll see. But yeah, just mainly Yevgeniy Photography, Keystyle Media. Thank you guys for having me. This was a blast.
Yeah. Thanks
Nice.
for jumping on.
We'll
dude.
talk about some cool stuff.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of cool shit and a lot of technical stuff that I think people might have questions about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
you
know I
guys-
did.
Yeah. That's why we asked him, right?
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah, if
those
you
are
guys
good.
have any questions, send the DMs.
All right,
Slide
cool.
into
Slide
DMs.
into his
Slide
DMs.
in there.
All right, man. Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
See ya.